welcome to the Canadian Women in Ocean Industries Leadership Conference 2023. This is the Diversity in the Blue Economy podcast with myself, Kelly, and Gale Force Wint. And today we have the excellent Executive Director of OceansAdvance, Cathy Hogan. Cathy, why don't you introduce yourself, tell the audience everything about OceansAdvance.
Excellent. Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate that opportunity. As Kelly said, I'm Cathy Hogan. I'm the Executive Director of OceansAdvance. And before I even start, I would like to say a sincere thank you to Gale Force Winds for the opportunity to participate in this podcast and for all of the support that they have given the Canadian Women in Ocean Industries Leadership Conference. To say that this organization, Gale Force Winds, puts his money where its mouth is, I have to tell you something. This partnership has meant so much to us and to all of the almost 200 women that are sat inside at this conference that are participating this week. So thank you for that, and we appreciate it sincerely.
Yep, definitely.
OceansAdvance is the Ocean Technology Cluster of Newfoundland and Labrador. The organization has been in existence now for 20 years, and I'm actually one of the original employees of the organization. I started out as the administrative officer and came from a background with government-funded agencies that supported small business. I had never been specifically dedicated to the ocean sector, but I learned in a hurry just how important it was to Newfoundland. I guess we all know, we're surrounded by water. We get it. There's some connection to water for all of us. And I didn't realize, though, the true value and the excitement of what was going on in the sector until I started with OA. So I continued my career for 13 years as the administrative officer, and then I had the privilege of being offered the position of executive director in June of 2016. So I'm almost 7 years now as executive director, and I certainly thank the board of directors of OceansAdvance for giving me that opportunity. The difference between a cluster, I think, and what people perceive to be industry associations or not perceive, industry associations and so on, is OceansAdvance's membership consists not only of industry but also of the research and academic community. And there is we talk about ourselves as being kind of a three-legged stool that one can't really survive without the other, and if they happen by chance to if one of those aren't level and aren't producing and so on, it throws the whole chair off. So we've been very fortunate to work with our industry members, as I said, but also we have a very strong relationship with the National Research Council, Ocean, Coastal and River Engineering, and we're physically located in their building. We also have a tremendous relationship with Memorial University. The Marine Institute is a partner of ours in so many projects, and the College of the North Atlantic as well. So we are tied in also to the academic side of the community, ensuring that students are engaged and are aware of the opportunities that exist in the ocean sector.
Yes, exactly. And you have done nothing but help uplift not only myself but so many different people. What is, and you're obviously very proud to be from Newfoundland. Where does that come from? Like, where does your love for Newfoundland culture come from?
Absolutely. So that, I think, as with a lot of people, it was inbred in me with my parents, and they were anxious for us our family wasn't terribly well off, but they were certainly anxious to ensure that their children were proud of who they were, where they came from, and that we all got to travel at an early age, in our teens and beyond, to carry that message to the world that we are who we are. We have this tremendous province that we're from, a province that is rich not only in resources, natural resources and so on, but with a people and a reputation for being good and kind people, and that no one else in the world, I believe, can match. Whenever I travel anywhere, someone always knows someone from Newfoundland, because we're friendly, we're outgoing. Both my brothers are well-traveled. They have worked internationally themselves, and we have a number, OceansAdvance does, quite a number of international partnerships that we get the opportunity to spread the word about Newfoundland, but also about certainly about our membership, their capabilities. People used to use the terminology world class. We believe that Newfoundland, from an oceans perspective, is world leading, and we've proven that over and over again, both from industry's perspective. All of our members are internationally known and acclaimed for their products and services, and certainly our research and academic community are second to none anywhere in the world.
Yes, exactly, and we obviously have such great facilities as well in Newfoundland that we have been able to, we have been very lucky to use, especially the National Research Council building and everything else. Is there anything exciting happening with OceansAdvance currently that you would like people to know about?
Absolutely. So OceansAdvance has tremendous partnerships locally, regionally, nationally, and internationally. OceansAdvance is I am the co-chair along with Cathy Williams of ACOA. We are co-chair of an Atlantic Trade and Investment Growth Strategy Group, and that's a pan-Atlantic group made up of government agencies and so on, and industry associations, and ourselves as a cluster that support the growth for industry in international markets. We are also a member of the Ocean Technology Alliance of Canada, which includes OceansAdvance, Ocean Technology Council of Nova Scotia, TMQ from Rimouski in Quebec, and our good friends at Association for BC Marine Industries based out of BC, British Columbia, Victoria. So we have that connection as well. And last but not least, OceansAdvance is the Canadian representative for the Blue Tech Cluster Alliance, which is an international cluster of clusters, 11 clusters in 9 countries.
Yes, so for those who don't know, how would you define a cluster?
Cluster, absolutely. So there's an expert in cluster development by the name of Michael Porter, and we've learned a lot from him and so on. And clusters have been in existence for a very long time, and then they kind of waned at one point. People stepped away from it, and actually now I find that people are recommitting to the whole concept. A cluster is a group of like-minded people, organizations, government agencies, academic research community, and so on, that come together to grow the community and to grow the economy, hopefully. That's pretty well a short, quick and dirty, if you will, piece or description, rather, excuse me, of what a cluster is about.
Yeah, and what do you hope that the future holds for not only OceansAdvance but for yourself as well?
Absolutely. Well, I've had a long and varied career working for various government agencies and so on. CWOIL came about, we did talk about this in an earlier interview several years ago. OceansAdvance, our mandate is to connect, engage, and advance, and you'll see that on a lot of our promotional material. The organization itself is currently supporting international market entry and development. We have a tremendous program that we are managing in partnership with Atlantic Canada Opportunities Agency, and that is to support young women in oceans. So that's an exciting program that we're trying to ensure that young women who are currently in ocean studies remain in the ocean sector, because sometimes it's a bit of a challenge if they're working offshore, if they're out on fishing vessels, whatever the case. So the Marine Institute, Memorial University have been partners of ours, NSCC in Nova Scotia, as well as Dalhousie University. We also have another program that we support master's and PhD female students to attend a 2-week summer school with the University of Ghent in Belgium. Awesome. So those are exciting initiatives that are taking place, and last and not least, but the Ocean Career Immersions Program, and you've met with David Tipton. Yes. He's a phenomenal leader for young people. He has a tremendous vision about supporting young people, keeping them in the ocean sector. And that program is in partnership with Compass, which are the Marine Transportation Association. It's also NAIA, the Aquaculture Association for Newfoundland, as well as Econext, which are the formerly NIA, and they are the environmental group. So in partnership with them, supported by the province of Newfoundland through the Labour Market Program, we have an internship and mentorship program. So OceansAdvance is trying to ensure that we have a future talent pipeline. Because people in Newfoundland in particular, especially after the pandemic, and even before that, when the fisheries, collapsed, people weren't interested in getting into oceans. The fisheries of today is not what the fisheries was 30 years ago. It's an absolutely thriving, well-paying sector to be in, subsector to be in, aquaculture, marine transportation, and ocean tech itself. So there's so many opportunities, and people can still work in rural Newfoundland, stay in their hometowns, work for local companies, and see a bright future of well-paying jobs. And I can promise you this, that the ocean sector is the place to be, and it's only going to continue and grow.
Yes, exactly, and you couldn't have said it any better.
Thank you.
I would like to take this opportunity as well to say thank you for everything you have done for not only me, but for all the people that you have been able to uplift and give extraordinary opportunities to. I will be forever grateful, always, and you are someone I look up to immensely. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Kelly, but you know what? I only gave you the chance. You took the ball, you ran with it, and you have been a phenomenal asset to OceansAdvance, to Gale Force Winds, to this conference as a whole, and we appreciate all your hard work. You've definitely stepped up and gone above and beyond anything that we could have ever imagined in a student. You've just done a phenomenal job, and we thank you for that, and thank you for this opportunity. And again, to Gale Force Winds, it's I can't tell you how grateful we are. And for anybody who's out there listening to this podcast, let me promise you that this Gale Force Winds is an organization you want to connect with and you want to work with, because they will lift you up and make sure that the world knows who you are. So thank you, Kelly, and thank you to Jerry and Alan for this opportunity.
Yes, thank you very much.
Great, thanks.